I just bought this off Amazon. This was the cheapest fish finder I could find anywhere. There you go, there's the picture there. Lucky Laker, which is, I don't know why it said Lucky Laker. The brand on Amazon just said Lucky. Thing itself, it's got, looks like that. It's got a screen protector on it that has images printed onto it. It's a little bit lame because now I have to peel that off and there's no screen protector. Without the screen protector, it's still got the structure and stuff on the bottom. That doesn't make any sense. Why would... Looking at the description and stuff, it's not supposed to have that permanently on there, but it is. So that's a little bit disappointing. At the very least, this should help me figure out how deep some water is. There's the transducer. That's actually pretty solid there, pretty heavy. You can mount this on your transducer mount and use it on a boat or a kayak or something. That's what I planned on using it for, was on the kayak. It floats. It did come with the transducer mount, so you can mount it to the kayak. Okay. I don't think I'm going to use it the way it's designed. That doesn't make sense, but this is made. I do have rivets and stuff where I can mount this to the kayak, but like, you would have to punch a hole in the kayak under the water line for this to work. I'm not doing that. Like, even though I have waterproof rivets that have a seal on them, I'm not going to punch holes under the water line. Let's go get some batteries and try this thing out. It's a number one.
Okay, number one.
The meal. Yes. Arby's. Thank you. You too. Arby's, man. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, now clearly this thing is better designed for, you know, being out in a boat or a kayak. But I'm going to use it from the bank just to make sure it works. I mean, this is a shallow pond, and I don't expect it to actually work the way it's designed to, where it shows like this super deep depth and then the levels where the fish are. Turn it on, see what happens here. Oh, well, looky there. It's saying that there's a fish probably swimming by. It says that there's a whole bunch of fish there, but that's probably just one fish that swam by when I spooked it. And it says it's 0.9 meters deep, which it's about 3 feet. I'm not sure if there's going to be a way to change it from metric to American, but let's see. Setup doesn't want to work. There we go. Okay, apparently there's no way to change it from metric to American, so that's what, I mean, you're gonna have to get used to the metric system here. So 0.9 meters, that would be close to 1 meter. 1 meter is just over 3 feet, so 0.9 is probably right at 3 feet deep. Now I'm gonna set it here and see if that thing's accurate about there being fish right there. I've got this and I've got a little swim bait. Or let's see if it changes when my bait gets near it. It's actually changing. It's showing that there's more fish and fish swimming by it. And it just showed something swim across the bottom, so that might actually have been my bait. But that's kind of crazy, like it's actually sort of working. And it's also showing that there's some kind of structure, like a rock. I don't know if that's a rock or something on the bottom there. That's interesting. I don't know if these are actually fish though, or if it's like some kind of algae or like something that's just messing with the sonar or the transducer. But I think that's accurate about how deep this pond is. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and look, it just showed that all the fish cleared away. So they're moving around. It's either one, it's just showing random patterns and it's not accurate, or two, it is accurate and there's a lot of fish just circling around this thing. It doesn't appear to be random though, because it seems to react to when my bait's around. They're not biting, but if I throw out and make a splash, they all disappear from the screen. All right, so it was saying there's a whole bunch of fish out there. Right about there. Now there's no indicator that says how big the fish are, so these could have been a bunch of little tiny fish, which I think that's what they were, was just sunfish. Oh, look, there's actually some wakes out there, so who knows, this thing might have actually been accurate. I don't know about anything else, but I do believe the depth is accurate. I need to take this thing out on a kayak to some crystal clear water where I can see the bottom and really be able to test if it's accurate or not. All right, right now it's laying on the ground and it's not reading anything as far as depth goes. Hold on to this end so it doesn't come unplugged and go get lost. .6 meters. I can see to the bottom. That appears to be about right. About a little more than half a yard. It's not showing any fish this time. That's interesting. Let's see what happens when I swim my bait past it. Nothing. It did not pick up my lure. It's really nice and cool in the shade. It's just too bad there's no shade. Ooh, right here showing that it's about 4 feet. This is 1.3 meters, and then it's changed because it's moving closer in. So this might be the deepest section of the pond. It's also the widest and most open section of this pond. This thing's smart enough to know when it's not in the water because it doesn't show any kind of readings. There we go. And then as soon as it hits the water, oh, it's actually 1.6 right there. So it's fairly deep out there. 1.5, 1.4 as it gets closer to the bank. But it's not showing any fish. Of course, there wouldn't be any fish in the area if I made that big splash like that. But I'm hoping to catch one and swim it under the radar to see if it picks it up. Oh, look, it is showing now. So there's 2 fish there. 3, 4. Now, I think those numbers could be because they're moving around and it's not sure exactly where they are. Because, yeah, that showed like a school of fish swim under it and then pass it by. Oh, and just like that, but I pulled it out of his mouth. Pulled me off the hook. Come on. I think it's got a delay in it, and I think it is actually picking up on my lure. Now, this is either a bunch of small fish or one big one that it has to show multiple fish on it to represent that one fish. Or it could actually be a school of fish and there's no size indication. As the timing of it, I think it's actually detecting my lure, but it's not able to focus on one spot, so it's showing like 3 fish coming by right next to each other when it's just like my lure swimming by a little faster than it can keep up with. I don't know. I'm not a technical expert on these things. That's just my theory. But it does seem to actually be working. Just because I don't include the part where I throw away my trash doesn't mean I'm littering. People just assume that because I didn't include the part of the video of me throwing away my trash that means I threw it on the ground somewhere. Get a lot of those comments. It was just too hot standing out there in the sun, so I came somewhere that's a little shadier. And Fish Finder so far appears to work. It's really not designed to be used from the bank the way I'm using it, because it only gives you like a maximum of 10 feet. And most of the areas you're going to be fishing are further than 10 feet away from you. So it's really designed for a boat or a kayak where, you're just doing the immediate area around you. I decided to come here for 3 reasons. 1, it's shady. 2, I've always been kind of curious how deep it is out there. So I can do that with the fish finder. And 3, this place is stacked with bait fish and minnows and stuff. And I need to catch some to feed some fish in an aquarium with. So that's what I'm going to do first. Oh, wow. Got a bunch of little baby ones. You can just see them all over here. Bigger ones. See, there we go. Some good sized mosquito fish here. Good bait too if you're ever that desperate. They're easy to catch and there's a ton of them. Tried out over there by the tree. It was 0.6 meters, 60 centimeters, I think. And now I'm going to try over here along the bank. Well, maybe right in the middle there. It's about the same. Seems like this whole thing might be about the same, but I know it gets deeper over there into that corner on that side. Okay, I'm gonna put that over here because where it's at, it's just saying there's a ton of fish over there. There's either a ton of fish over there or this thing's just not accurate. And the wires, oh my god, did I just get it snagged? How did this thing get snagged? How? Damn. Like that's stuck. I'm not gonna be able to get that off. I'm gonna have to walk out there. Man, this is gonna be nasty. All this, who knows what's in this nasty ass water. If I hadn't just barely bought this thing today, I'd just break it off and let it go. Step on a needle or a hook or something. Seriously, what is it stuck on? And I'm sinking into the mud or these rocks, and it's nasty because I'm barefoot. Man, I don't know what that's stuck on, but it is solid. And I can't go any deeper than this. Ugh. This thing's well made, but I'm gonna just have to cut it off. I can't get it back. That was great. Wasted 50 bucks, 40 bucks. Look at this, it is not moving. Like this is some heavy wire. Whatever it's stuck to is not moving. Oh. It's fucking great. Look at this. This is why I don't buy expensive shit. That's why I got the cheapest one there was. Good news, however, I think I can buy the transducer by itself. I think you can buy all these parts separately. So what's stupid is it had this big giant float to keep it up on the surface, and the slack line hooked around something, pulled the float under, and just got stuck. And whatever it was not budging. It was like a piece of asphalt or something. And I could not get to it to get it off of there. Okay, I got one. It feels like a good one. Man, I wish I had a fish finder to release this under. Solid bass though. Some kind of siren. Solid, not very long, but that's a solid bass. Oh, do I got him? I got one. Little bitty one. Oh, this is a sunfish. Okay. It's like a long ear, maybe a red ear sunfish. Moral of the story is, if you're going to try to use a fish finder from the bank, make sure it's wireless. And if you're going to use the Lucky Fish Finder, it's got a transducer mount. Use it. Don't rely on that wire. That was not worth it. I mean, even if it hadn't broken off, which is extremely frustrating, it's not worth it. I mean, if you're going to get a fish finder, it should at least tell you the temperature in the water, which I didn't realize it at first, but this thing doesn't even tell you that. If you want one that tells you the temperature, it's another like $20 on top of that, what you've already spent on this one. It worked as a depth finder. I'm not convinced that it worked as an actual fish finder. And if it's just going to be a depth finder, it should at least tell you the temperature too. So, not really worth it. There's a more expensive version that tells you the temperature and tells you the depth, and probably still doesn't tell you if there's actually fish there or not. Accurately, anyway. I was going to buy just the transducer to replace the piece that broke off, because those are out there. You can't buy those separately. They even have a wireless version that you can add to it, which I was really interested in doing that. But they cost just as much as buying the whole unit. So there's no point. Like, why would you spend the same amount of money for something with missing parts when you could just buy a whole new unit that you know is going to work together? Because there's always that chance that it doesn't work with the one you have. Even if it's from the same brand and it says it will, there's always that chance that they're not quite compatible. So if it breaks off, you're better off just buying a whole new unit instead of just the part that broke. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here before I break something intentionally. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell.